Joseph Glauber talked to the group just a bit about the world supply of grains and oilseeds, in particular the 2012 drought, and how that crop has not rebuilt as quickly as it might have in previous decades.
We did have some rebuilding last year, but we had very strong use. We've seen wheat consumption, corn consumption, soybean consumption certainly all increase to record levels, and so that has meant that stocks haven't rebounded quite like they might have, say, in the 80s or something. Where we used to see these years where we'd have a significant drought, then all of a sudden next year flush and back to lower prices. And prices are lower, but as you've seen over the last 3 or 4 months, the markets have certainly been. There's a lot of volatility there and a lot of interest with weather and other sorts of things.
That, of course, is USDA Chief Ag Economist Joseph Glauber. By the way, tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock in the WSDA, or World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates, USDA and the World Agricultural Outlook Board will take its first stab at next year's carryout, or the ending stocks for the 2014-15 marketing year, or the fall of 2015. Glauber talked a little bit about how that process works in lockup.
I think the lockup is still very significant. The challenge is the fact that we're in a world that trades 24/7, the fact that you have high-speed trading. All those things make this. I have talked about this in a number of given a number of speeches on this, or papers on this topic, and it's a fascinating one, as you know. You probably have pictures of these, but these pictures with the guard there outside the lockup, and there's still a scowling guard outside the lockup. But now he has a metal detector, and and taking all cell phones at the door. And of course, NASA's put in a lot more security, particularly following the IG's report.
On the subject of security, have you ever wondered how the state information arrives at USDA? It arrives, that day.
That still comes in encrypted, individually comes in heavily encrypted, and then is put together in there and lockup. So that all still goes on. My guys, the World Board guys, they have a lot of their pre-meetings, and oftentimes in a quiet lockup month, say February, or what should be quiet, where you think, well, there's not much in terms of NASC production numbers. It still is busy just because of all the foreign stuff that goes on, and that's the other side of it. I think, particularly Southern Hemisphere and all the stuff going on in the winter, we spend a lot more time with that. And there, again, we're picking up, obviously the media and everyone else has access to Brazilian cannabis reports and other things, so they're looking at those. But we do that. We do a lot of back and forth with the attachés there.
USDA Chief Ag Economist Joseph Glauber. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., the United States Department of Agriculture will release its World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates, updating not only this year's supply and demand figures, but for the first time for the growing season, predicting the 2014-15 marketing year supply and demand estimates. Those will be out at 11 a.m. Watch our website at willag.org for all the details. Come back for the closing market report tomorrow, and for Commodity Week, which follows this program on our home radio station and up on the website at willag.org by about 4 o'clock tomorrow. Our guest will be Lance Honig. He is with USDA NASS.